Ota from Tokyo Spiral, located in Tokyo. I actually feel very nervous today. I cannot speak so well in English, and I would love to share with you at least very practical issues which I can share you today. And so I actually wrote last night what I am talking today, so I read. And firstly, thank you very much for this opportunity to Michael, and also Heidi and the other member from Hyperculture Project, so that we could share the information and ideas usually we could not reach in our daily life. Today I would like to introduce our activities in Japan we have done recently, although some of you already know about it very much because some of these have been visited us. So if you don't want to listen anymore, please do take a break. So this is the view of Yokohama I would like to talk to you later. The title is Beyond 2020. Firstly, we would like to talk about who we are. Spiral is the name of our company. It is a private cultural organization founded in 1985. The main building is located in the very center of Tokyo, which is designed by Fumihiko Maki, a prominent architect who is also known as one of the main buildings, which is located at ground zero in New York City right now. We have 9 floors above and 1 underground. There are from galleries, event halls, restaurants, and shops, and so on. Some of the floors are run by ourselves, and some, especially restaurants and other service facilities floors, are rented. From the brief introduction, it sounds like a kind of shopping mall. However, we never say it as it is, but we call it cultural facility under the strong aesthetic concept, which is immersion of life and art. In this case, we think art is not only as visual art or kind of exhibition, but include music, food, daily goods, beauty salon, whatever elements which encourage our communication and enrich of our lives. Our founder owns a big women's underwear company in Kyoto, which was established just after the war ended. In 1946, from the war experience, he had got a very strong belief that the peace always comes only when women feel their life and with plenty of happiness. That belief made him to start the underwear business, then after to establish our space in most fashionable place in Japan, which is called Aoyama. We, like Okada-san and I, in curatorial team, are responsible for producing several cultural events in collaboration with the others, artists and creators, producers, directors, and their organizations, and also responsible for making so-called business through our activities. Then I show you some of the event photos in 1990s and 2000s. These are from the exhibition and performance from 1980s and 1990s. The much more recent works, exhibitions after 2000. Compared to 1980s, as events happened in the same place, it looks not very much different. However, the structure of the event has been different. In Japan, after 1991, almost the recent 20 years are usually called lost 2 decades. During this period, we've got a severe economic crisis attacked by lots of natural disasters. So when Spiral was established in 1985, we were very, very rich to organize any kind of programs, spend so much money. But after then, business structure has been totally changed, and we have not been able to only rely on our parent company, but we have had to produce them by our own. Flashy period was over after 1991. Recent topics about Spiral. We celebrated our 30th anniversary last autumn during a big event and party. This is an installation view from this exhibition. And next, we renewed the entrance and add the function of buying and selling art pieces and design products easily, which was opened last April. And then renew the French restaurant on the 5th floor into a shop and cafe designed by very popular Japanese designer, Akira Minagawa, which was just opened last July. So this is chapter 2. So we move on. The activity happened outside of Spiral. As I told you all, after 1990s, we changed the structure of our business, not only producing events in Spiral, but producing activities outside Spiral. Our strategy is to install art and artists into the life, happen all over the world. We have great networks with artists all over the world. We have great networks with any kind of organizations and companies. We can be a kind of a bridge between them. So this is the example. An art festival happened in 2014 with very old onsen, hot spring town in west of Japan. We basically worked with local government. This folk sculpture is done by Fujiko Nakaya, a very prominent artist. She will soon have her own exhibition in Tate Modern in London next year. With ryokan is a kind of an old-style Japanese hotels, private hot spring hotels done by Yayoi Kusama. And also by Araki, probably you know a very, very famous photographer in Japan. And other 7 artists have done this hotel project. Next example is very important for us all. The Yokohama Zonahana Terrace started from 2009, and we have been commissioned since then by City of Yokohama. We have won the competition 3 times in 2009 when it was opened, 2012 and 2015. Now we have 5-year allowance until 2019. This is just a place for citizens, basically, but we insert various styles of cultural activities into it. One of these is portraits. We have launched a portrait project in 2011. Now the networks has been expanded, of course, and this time we are going to Iceland or Jordan or somewhere else in the world. The next important issue is working with all abilities under the umbrella of slow level. Slow means producing anything very slowly, politely, beautifully, compared to the mass products or compared to the mass economics. It has been developed gradually, and now the movement grows into the activities parallel to important government organizations, because they tend to emphasize on the diversity of our quality of life. This has much to do with Olympic and Paralympic Games. I explain to you later. Next one is Light Festival, which changed the night view with artistic ideas in Yokohama. This was also started in 2009 as an experimental project. But in March 2010, the big earthquake attacked Japan. Then we slightly changed the concept from just the lighting the night view into the festival, which is with environmental consciousness. Sometimes with less of electricity, sometimes with different kind of natural resources. And this is very huge event we have had for city, and soon we will hold another one in the beginning of next November. The photo is by Swiss artist Langenbaum. And also, this was Australian artist Pete Van Pop. And this was done with a Croatian and Austrian and Germany artist. Newman. And the other one is, of course, Japanese artist work done by us, by them. And the relationship between the different Asian countries works very well. These are by Korean artists. Now, recent topics from outside of Spiral. We have done art festival with one of the city of Tokyo, Futako Tamagawa. It is more casual style used in the public space along the riverside. This is collaboration with several huge companies and local government and with the art university. I can show you this very shortly.
Does that sound?
Yes.
Maybe this maybe connected to sound.
The citizens and also the stakeholders around here want to open the public space into the citizens. Just the music. So we prefer having the program with a very casual style, not like a concrete art festival, so many people can be involved in the workshop and also in the event. Yeah, some people say that it's a much more music festival, something like that, but really various styles of art programs have been done during this event. Kind of improvisational choir, and international artists involved, and some people dance and talk, and everything happened only during 3 days. So the artists who have done this project is always appeared in the smart illumination too, and so the mixture of the art piece and also the public space and also the just normal life, the scenery was quite impressive for us too. This is a light project with a poet. So 18 words poet on the building of the parking area. So drawn art project over the sky. And a 4 hours talk session around the campfire works. Poets with photographers and media artists and philosophers, everybody's being involved. That event happened in July, and then it says that it is experimental one, so we call it the Tokyo Actual 00, means the first, no, before the first version. So we are preparing the next one for the next year, and we have not had any plan right now, but now on discussion. And the other recent, not works, but the recent project, we expand the port journey network from individual relationship into much more big-scale organizational relationship. It is now ongoing and on planning between Shanghai team. Of course, we do artist exchange, but we are to develop staff or programs and project exchange. Not only under port journeys, we are also building the network, for example, with the Opera House in Sydney. If it goes well, we could ask them to be involved in this port journey project too. As I explained, the activity which was originally born for Yokohama, now transforming into the project in relation with national organization, like we do performance from slow level. So the recent activity in and out of Spiral, I explained, are almost aiming to be matured toward the year of 2020. So why 2020? The answer everybody knows, this one. It's good and bad in both aspects though. Now I show you some figure. The figure says the number of visitors from overseas to Japan goes rapidly up within these 4 years after the earthquake. Actually, 2010, we got a very big earthquake, so 2011 we got number of the visitors, but later on they're rapidly increasing. That shows we have chance to recover the economic situation. The Ministry of Culture succeeded the legacy of London Olympic Games, then announced these numbers with the purpose of exceeding the result of London. As a cultural organization, they also expect us, Spiral, to dedicate to this sport. Not with their expectations, we definitely have stronger connections than before with them after 30 years experience. As we are here, the situation proves that we have been more frequently off Spiral overseas to communicate with you from all over the world. We can say Spiral has been obviously globalized. But the problem is, nobody discussed after 2020. As we have experienced those 2 decades after the big economic crisis in 1991, we surely have another crisis after Olympic Games finishes. We have had 2 specific solutions so far. We have not started discussing, but we somehow believe that this kind of connection, loose and tight, energetic, but sometimes very calm, progressive, but peaceful and trustful, sometimes practical, sometimes philosophical, in port journeys will work very much in the future. So we would like to ask you all, please accompany all the time with us. Please share the mind and ideas with us and act together productively. The roadmap till 2020 and beyond 2020 will be drawn by us all. Now we declare that we will host the annual directors meeting 2020 in Yokohama again. Thank you. If you give me a few minutes, I can introduce some artists from Japan. I invite several people today. So I show the artist works today. First one, there is no reason in the order. Asai Soya. Is she there? Okay, she's there. Soya Asae Soya, painter, lived in Yokohama, not only painting on the canvas, but spreading the possibility of the paintings to the various media. She will have a solo exhibition in Shanghai venue, Halcyon Gallery, in next year. And next one, Sandra and Yuki, there. They are both from the artist collective Still Life, organized with the graduated students from Royal College of Art, London. On the scheme of the visual art, they have improvisational performances. They have had a performance in a space spiral last August. Next, Midori Mitamura-san. Okay, so Midori Mitamura-san, artist, she is now showing her installation at the International Art Festival in Aichi, in Japan. At the same time, she spreads the activity Art and Breakfast, the communication program all over the world. So maybe she's doing. Now she's in Wiesbaden to have a project there for a month. And Shikara Fujiwara-san, he is a theater critic as well as director for the theater program. He joins in the International Theater Festival all over the world and searching for the possibility of what contemporary theater can do for us. And she will come later, actually, Sako Kojima. She will be arriving late today, lives in Berlin. She is painter as well as various styles of program, always with the motif of sensitive and sophisticated existence of the small mouse. We call it hamster. So sometimes she works sharp. She has a workshop like this, and she pretends to be mouse and to stay for a week or so in the gallery as a mouse. Very unique artist. And the last one, actually she's not Japanese, and she's from Shanghai, and she's coming later in the afternoon today. She's now in Berlin to stay for a week or so. She's a brilliant media artist who have been involved in Venezia Biennale, and the surface of the works looks at very attractive the younger generation. But philosophically, she created the works with Buddhism background and cast the questions toward the idea of how we live. She will come later, so please make a rating to her.